I did something I literally never thought that I would be able to do. This past weekend, I attended Coachella completely sober. To make it even better, I hit my 7-month sobriety from alcohol while I was there. For those of you who might be new here, I am 7 months sober from alcohol. I am over 2 years sober from hard drugs, and I'm about 3 months sober from cannabis. I got back from Coachella on Monday, and throughout this week, I wrote down some points that I would like to talk about and share with you, whether you're wanting to go to a festival sober or if you're just curious what my experience was like. First things first, arguably one of the most important things, I went with a friend who was also not drinking for the entire weekend. This friend is not sober, but she wasn't drinking the whole weekend, and that helped me so much because inevitably I ran into a lot of drunk people at Coachella. Like, it's a festival, people are gonna drink. I get that. I was prepared for that, and it was fine when I was at the festival, but I don't think I would have been as okay had I been getting ready with someone taking shots next to me or drinking mimosas in the morning. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like having that front and center in my face would have probably not necessarily made me relapse, but it would have made my thoughts a little dark and a little harder to deal with. On a similar note, before I left for Coachella, I contacted my management to talk to the brand about removing all of the alcohol from my hotel room, which the brand is really sweet. They actually had already done that without me even asking. So that was really helpful too. Again, not necessarily because I thought I was going to relapse, but like having to look at it all the time, it's gonna make those thoughts come to the front of your brain, and it's easier to just not have that. Building up to the weekend and then throughout the entire weekend, I kept reminding myself how exciting success would feel rather than focusing on the fear of failure. I've talked about this a little bit before, but there's kind of a blurred line between excitement and anxiety. They get really confused in your brain sometimes and can really like switch to one or the other depending on your mood. So for me, if I focused on how excited I was going to feel to be successful in a sober weekend at a festival rather than, oh my God, this is going to be so hard, this is going to be so difficult. You can frame it in your brain to make it a little easier on yourself. I didn't fully flesh out this thought in here, but I wrote down, I'm a stubborn person, which is true. If I made my mind up about something, I'm going to stick to that. And I think that really helps with my sobriety. It takes a lot of strength to be sober, and I think that my stubbornness kind of helps with that. This is just a cool thing. I learned to be able to say I don't drink rather than stumbling over my words, because like when someone would offer me, like someone offered me a bottle of tequila to take a pull out of on the shuttle on the way there, and I was like, oh no, thank you. And then I was kind of like under my, I was like, oh God, do I like say that I'm sober? Like, how do I go about this? And then I was talking to my friend and she was like, oh, it's easier if you just say I don't drink. Like that way they know not to ask you again, and like it's a really quick cut. So I just thought that was cool. I don't know how I've never thought about that before, to just say I don't drink instead of being like, hey, I'm sober and I'm an alcoholic and Okay, now we're moving on to some of the benefits. I remembered every single artist. That was absolutely amazing. This Coachella was so good. I had energy every day. I had energy every day. I went to bed at 3 a.m. every night and had to wake up at 8 a.m. to get ready the next morning. I can't imagine what that would be like if I was hungover. I don't want to know. Actually, honestly, I probably just would have like woken up still drunk and then continued to drink and just had that fuel me through the weekend. But like thankfully I was able to get somewhat good sleep in those 5 hours that I had to sleep. I was able to follow my schedule that I set for myself for the entire weekend. So that included content, shuttles, artists, merch. This was a work trip for me also. So like I've said it a million times, I'm gonna keep saying it, I don't know how I would have been able to do that drunk. I didn't have to leave every set to go pee. Oh my God, the years that I have gone to Coachella drunk and I have such a good seat, and then I have to pee. Oh, my favorite song's coming on. I have to go pee. Like, my bladder is so teeny tiny that when I would drink, I would have to pee every 5 seconds, and it made my life a living hell. And like, obviously, yeah, I still had to pee multiple times throughout the festival because I was staying hydrated, but like not the same as when I was drinking. I wasn't bloated the whole weekend, nor did I puke. I did have a lot of concern about me going to Coachella as a somewhat freshly sober person because of how triggering it would be for me. I would like to let you know that there are triggers in my everyday life. There are the most random things that trigger me. The first sunny day, I'm going to get emotional. I'm trying to hold it back. The first sunny day that happened a couple months ago that I witnessed as a sober person was one of the most difficult days that I've experienced through my sobriety, because the sunshine used to mean like, oh, let's go get brunch and drink. And that's just not, I can't do that anymore. Or like, I want to take a bath at night and I'm like, oh, this would be really great with a glass of wine. I can't do that. There are triggers left and right constantly. Honestly, a festival, for me, the way that I did it with like work involved and everything, it was so distracting and I had so much to do that I didn't even really have the time to overthink my sobriety. I wrote down that I am very proud of myself, which I am. And I also said that for me, my sobriety is really easy to downplay because I constantly tell myself how easy it is just to not do something. So I have to remind myself that what I'm doing takes a lot of strength. I have to remind myself to be proud of myself, because it's easy to say that I am. To actually feel that pride is a different story, because again, I downplay my sobriety and the strength that it takes a lot because that makes it easier in my head. But it does take a lot of strength, and I'm very proud of myself. My last and final point that I would like to make is that when I was debating becoming sober, something that I was always very fearful of was not having confidence and not having that edge taken off that alcohol would give me. But I've started to realize that confidence lives within me, right? Even when I was drunk, I was pulling that from someone. Now, doing it sober adds almost a new higher level of confidence because I am aware of what I'm doing and I just feel so happy all the time. I just feel like life is so much more beautiful and I have such a newfound appreciation for not only the world but for myself. It's a level of confidence that I have never had before because I don't have a crutch, so it's coming from a real place. If you are questioning whether or not you want to get sober or if you want to do a festival sober, I think that you should, and I really hope that you do. And if you need help, please make sure to get the help that you need. You can do this. I have so much faith in you, and I love you so much, and I hope you have a good week.